All right, hello everybody. This is Bryan Cooper with Xavier University of Louisiana's Office of Admissions, and you are listening in to the XULA Black Excellence podcast. And so today, our topic will linger around the importance of Black males on college campuses, and how Black males affect college campuses, and the reverse, how those campuses affect Black males. And so today, I have two of my colleagues with me who are Black males that have attended and or are still attending colleges and universities, and getting an education. And so I'll let them introduce themselves. Brandon, if you want to start.
Sure. My name is Brandon Johnson. Currently, I attend that Battle Community College. I did have a short stint at the University of New Orleans, PWI. I do have some experience of being on college campuses, maybe as a party animal, I guess, and as a worker with Dillard University. So, yeah.
Cool, cool. Thank you, man. I'm gonna officially nickname you Party Animal from now on.
Nah.
That's an inside joke, though, for the office. That's an inside joke. And so then, Kyrie, can you introduce yourself as well?
All right. Hi, my name is Cleophas. No, I'm joking. Uh, my name is Khiry Jones Sr. I graduated from Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. I'm currently attending American University. I'm getting my master's in education policy and leadership. Um, I am a former teacher and all of that as well, and I used to be an admissions counselor. So, I'm pretty well versed in the realm of, secondary and post secondary education.
Cool, cool. And so I guess just to throw my credentials out there too, I attended Xavier University of Louisiana. That's my alma mater, and I'm happy to work at my alma mater as well. And then I'm looking to start an MBA program actually in the coming semester in spring 2021. And so we got some education all over this place at the moment. But as you all know, I explained this earlier, but the topic for today's podcast is the value of Black males on college campuses and how they affect college campuses, and the reverse, how college campuses may affect Black males. And so, thank you all for letting us know exactly where you all attended or are attending currently. And so, just to start off, Kyrie, could you tell us a little bit about your experience attending Tuskegee?
Okay. I'm gonna push you back a little bit further. Well, I'll start there. All right. So, I before I started Tuskegee, I was a person that, you know, you guys know, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, all of that. Just a overall weirdo, right? So like growing up, I thought I was doing the Black thing wrong, right? Um, so I thought that, I was just being Black the wrong way. But when I went to Tuskegee, it was amazing because I really found my place there. I think that's like the magic of HBCUs, is that you really realize that, being Black isn't a monolith. Um, so I found like a group of friends who were so different than me. Like, it's still a diverse environment. Um, they are like as different as you can be, but it's people that, like, even the people that weren't my friends, it's people who appreciated me for the person that I am, and a person that I was growing to be, and people who like genuinely my had the best intentions for me. Like they had best wishes for me, right? Like it was an amazing experience. I too was a party animal at some point. I too, right? But so my I had the extended stay. Um, but with the students, there's also these amazing professors that like kept me in line. So like whenever I veered off, um, I would get a stern talking to, especially from this one guy named Dr. Robertson. Like he used to like go in on me when I started messing up. So yeah, that's a little bit about Tuskegee.
Cool,
Cool,
cool.
cool.
And
And
so
so,
I did have a question about some of the things or questions about your experience. The first thing is, could you let us know, at least for the folks who don't know what it might be, explain to us what an extended stay is? Because You are not the only one on this call today or on this podcast that had the extended stay.
All right, so uh, you can graduate in 4 years. I did not. I I needed a little bit of extra time to I actually sat out a year. Um and then I went back. I kind of lost that motivation for a while. You know, uh mental health issues and stuff.
It's real.
Yes, it's very
That's a
real.
whole other topic, especially in the Black community. But I took that break, and then behind every strong man, there's a strong woman, right? I ended up meeting the person who would become my wife, and she kind of like kicked me in gear, and it was like I had a. She wasn't the only reason, but she made me see how like I needed to do better for myself. You feel me?
Yeah.
It was her and like I said, my professors and other students at Tuskegee that was like, bro, like you're too smart for this. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also, you pointed out one of your professors that helped you to really kick it in gear. And I feel like all of us have that one professor at some point in time that ends up being that, that person that we know for the rest of our lives that end up affecting the rest of our lives. And so, what class was that you had him for?
Bro. So like I couldn't get away from him. He was a history professor. I had him for a Civil War Reconstruction. I had him for it was like Black scientists in history.
That's a very uncommon course.
Yeah, I had him for like a few courses. And he was from New Orleans, which is crazy because my wife's from New Orleans. My mentor, which is him, was from New Orleans. So
Shout out to the city.
Here, right?
Shout out to the city.
But he was the type that like he didn't call you by your first name. He called you Mr. Jones. He had this deep voice, Mr. Jones, and then he would like I was literally afraid of him at times because I was and it was like I was just scared of him, like he was gonna like hit me over the head or something. But I was scared to disappoint him.
Yeah.
Because he would let me know when I did, and he was one of my first Black male teachers because I didn't have a Black male educator until I was in college. So it was
crazy.
Yeah. So he was cool.
All right, dope. All right, so Brandon, I know that you said that you're currently enrolled at Delgado, and you had a little bit of experience on Dillard University's campus as well. And so tell us about your experiences as a Black male on the college campus.
So I take it back to the very first time. Immediately after high school, the first college I attended was UNO, University of New Orleans, a PWI. And of course, in my mind, it was just, I'm gonna go to school because I feel like I need to go to school. No real direction as to why I'm there. And I had the opportunity to, um, while I was there, just going through the process, going through school, I guess I wasn't paying attention to see and really noticing what was going on around me. I had the opportunity to go to Paris, France to perform in the musical, and left from Paris and was like, I'm a star now. I don't need school, right? So give back, and I stopped going to school, of course, and I was afforded another opportunity to be a part of a musical at Dillard. And the 5 or 6 months I was on Dillard's campus, it opened my eyes to the difference of being at a PWI and an HBCU. Not only from the sheer size of the campuses, but just the culture in general. Khiry, you said that you felt like you were growing up, you were a nerd or a geek, for instance, and you weren't doing the Black thing right. I didn't know that I wasn't doing it at all. Wow. Just going, you know what I mean? Just going through life. And I knew things about, Black culture. One of my mentors, Mr. Troy Populous, he taught us everything that was about Black culture, Black arts, you know, in the theater arts and stuff. But past that, I didn't really dive into what it meant to be a Black man, you know. So being on Dillard's campus for that time that I was there, it was like, wait, I was missing out on a lot. You know what I mean? Missing out on a whole lot. And just to, you know, touch on Tuskegee for a second. My cousin graduated from Tuskegee as well, Dwayne Cruz. And I went to Tuskegee's, you know, and I went to Tuskegee's homecoming one year, and I was there for 2 days. And I felt like I learned so much in those 2 days from being on that campus, man. So the value of an HBCU is so important. I feel like when it comes to um, Black males, man, to know our value, you know, because when we're somewhere else, we're just a number, you know. But when you're on the HBCU, when you're on that campus, man, you can really feel the love. People are really keen in on you, really trying to mold you and make you better, you know, not only for yourself, because they know that if I deal with this person, right, it's a better chance that he can teach 5 more people how to do it. You know what I mean? So they really take the time and really mold the students well. But HBCU campuses, man, I unfortunately I wasn't able to attend one as a student, but just being on the campuses and, you know, being at some of the events and stuff like that, it's an experience like no other. And a part of me feels like it is necessary if you can to attend that HBCU. You know.
Dope, dope. Thank you, man. And so one thing that you described that I feel like we cannot go forward without at least touching up on is the Black college homecoming. And I know that the podcast for today touches up on and has the main topic of the value of the Black male. But let's just break off just for a little second to talk about the Black college homecoming experience, which I know basically all of us won't be able to attend this particular year due to COVID-19. Um, and I've talked to a lot of my classmates who are extremely upset that they won't be able to come back to Xavier and, you know, be on the yard and go to the tailgate and see folks that they may not have seen in years or since graduation, or not be able to just come back to New Orleans, because New Orleans became home for a lot of them. And wherever, you know, a lot of times wherever you may go to college at, if it's different from your hometown, it's like you have a second home in another city or state. And so let's touch up on the Black homecoming right quick. And so, Brandon, you brought up Tuskegee's that you went to, you know, for those 2 days. Khiry, I know that you went to Tuskegee's multiple times since you actually attended. And I went to Xavier's every year that I was a student, and just about every year since I've been a staff member here at Xavier. So, in 3 words, let's start here. In 3 words, describe a Black college homecoming.
Lit, lit, lit.
I was literally gonna say the same thing.
All right, Khiry, what's your 3 words?
Man, I was gonna say the same thing, but do the 3 words have to be a sentence?
Nah, it doesn't have to be a sentence. Nah,
Because
man.
if it's a sentence, this is it, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like, you know,
Okay.
because I don't know, it's an amazing experience. I
It's
think,
almost like you can't put it in 3 words, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you go to homecoming, you see like all these like, you know, alumni and stuff. You know, as a student, you see, it's like you're seeing your future self, right? You're seeing these people, you see yourself in these people, right?
Yep.
Like I told my wife that, you know, as soon as we hit 60, you know, we're still gonna be going to homecomings, right? Like that's when we're gonna break out the windsuits, you know, her is gonna be bedazzled, we're gonna have the straw hats, everything, right?
That's that Alabama for you right now.
Exactly, you know, I'm gonna have on some Skechers, you feel me? But that's like, it's real because it's you see so much Black excellence. And like people always associate Black excellence with you know, like monetary or like financial gain or something. And you know, there's a lot of that too. Plenty of that.
Yeah.
But you just see people, I associate Black excellence with happiness, you know? And you just see people who are just like happy with their lives, happy with you know, their family, and just like they're growing. And it's just, I don't know, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah. And man, it's it's an experience, like you said, it's hard to put into words. You just have to experience it sometimes. But I remember for a couple of actually for every consecutive year, I've seen some of the same faces. People make it a point to make sure that it's on their schedule and on their calendar before the year even starts, and have their plane ticket booked if possible months ahead of time, and have that hotel room booked months ahead of time. And I remember there was this one lady who's an alum of Xavier. I know that she's from the Chicago area because when I've had to travel for Xavier and host events in like Chicago, that's where I met her and I got to know her there. I forgot her name, but I remember literally seeing her at every single homecoming. And she's easily over 60 or 70 years old. And she faithfully makes her way down to Xavier from Chicago every single year. And she enjoys it just as much as the college freshman enjoys it. And so it's so much of a, and I hate to say this because a lot of people have probably heard this already, but it's like a really big family reunion.
Yeah.
It's like a really huge family reunion of your extended family of people that have gone through some of the same things that you've gone through and trying to obtain a degree and then moving forward and trying to obtain a career or get into a career, find their way in. And oftentimes finding our way in has to do with the experiences that we've had while going through higher education.
Yeah.
So swinging back to the topic at hand. Now I would like to know from your experience of being a black male, do you all think that you were treated a bit differently because you were a black male on the college campuses that you've been on?
Well, I can honestly say, being at the PWI, I w- I wouldn't say it's a thing of being treated different, but to go back to what I said earlier, it's being treated as if you were just a number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like you're being ignored. It's just the fact that you're just a student and you're here. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I know as y'all can speak on being at a HBCU where not only are you a student, but you are me. You know what I mean? So let me pour into you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know Kyrie could dive into that way more than I can, being at Tuskegee.
Yeah, I'll start with like the admissions process because I wasn't gonna go to Tuskegee initially. I was gonna go to a PWI that's actually near Tuskegee, and I wanted to go to this PWI since I was like 3 years old, right? Uh, and it was crazy because I I kept forgetting deadlines, but I noticed that like because I forgot the deadlines to get into the really good dorm, all of that, and even though I kept forgetting the deadlines, the PWI was like laying stuff out for me, like, oh, you know, and then they straight up said like, oh, we gotta meet our black to white ratio or something like that for one of the jobs. I was
Wow.
like, whoa. It's like, whoa,
Wow, man.
and it, nothing against that school or whatever. But I just knew that wasn't for me.
Mhm.
So growing up, I've always been a little bit of a slacker. Y'all know that's not me at all now. But I was a slacker. I knew I was, smart, but I just, I could get by, right?
Yeah.
B is perfect, right? B was perfect for me.
Mhm.
But when I got to Tuskegee, I had these professors, even like my white professors, that were like really nailing down the point that like, yo, when you get out in the real world, you have to be better than everybody else. And that's something my mom has told me since, I was like, what, 4 years old, right?
Yep.
Like seeing these people like really, really nail it down into me. Like um my mentor actually said, hey, yo, you are he's like, you have a warehouse of knowledge, right? but you've been BSing your entire time you've been here, and it stops today. And like he meant it, right? um, so and I that that helped me so much because when I was teaching in Boston, um, I I did a really good job. You know, like people who went to Harvard and Yale were like asking me for advice. You know, um, when and y'all see me now, like even when I was a counselor or now as a database communication database manager, I work hard. I don't stop. Um, so like that, I think because I was as a black male, they made sure that I had to do that because like people always, you know, people don't really have confidence in us sometimes.
And I'm happy you said that because uh, going back to what you said about, knowing you had knowledge in there, but you were just cool or comfortable with getting by, right? And then there's also people that don't necessarily know their capabilities, right? But they don't have the environment around them to show them or let them know that you can do this. So if you go to a school where there is no focus on the individual person, there's nobody to really dig into you and find that gem. But when you go to the HBCU, just like your professor did for you, Kyrie, he lets you know that, bro, you are greater than what you think. You know what I mean? So it's time for you to really get on that ball and really get it rolling while you were in that impressionable stage still. You know what I mean? High school to college level where we're still learning and still figuring out who we are. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking from experience as a person. I'm 28 years old. And I think I'm at a point now where I really understand and see the value within myself. But there are times when I do think back and say, man, I know if I would have done X, Y, Z, or went to this place or went to that place, I probably could have unlocked it a little bit earlier, right? But I'm fortunate enough to see and understand that, you know what I mean, and still be around, put myself in places to be better. But there are people that don't have that, you know what I mean, and I really, 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 really believe that HBCU can be necessary in unlocking the greater, I'm saying, the greater person, the greater thing inside of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, because even in high school, man, like I I remember one of my classmates because I had gotten into every college I applied to, right? I had gotten like this like STEM award or whatever, and I remember her saying like, "Wait, Kyrie, you're not done?" Because like I used to like it's crazy because I feel like sometimes black males try to hide their
Yeah.
intelligence. And
Yeah.
I don't think Gen Z kind of have that problem, but I think millennials we definitely had that issue
Yes.
growing up.
It wasn't cool to be smart.
Yeah, man. Like it was, you tried to
Nah,
hide
not at
it.
all.
Like you didn't want to, you reading the book or whatever. You didn't want to see
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
Even around our own people.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Even around our own people, man.
Yeah. Um, like even like, cause I used to draw all the time. I'm pretty creative. Even expressing that, like that was seen as something that was negative or wasn't, something that I should have been doing. Um, yeah, man, it's crazy.
And so, from what you all just described, it sounds like, some of us, we have that light switch moment. Like the light turns on, whether it's through a number of experiences or whether it's through someone pulling us on the side. But we have that light switch moment of basically coming to the understanding that we have value. As far as what that value is, that's where we start to figure that out. And sometimes, like we said, being around our own people, we aren't really afforded the opportunity of overtly trying to show how smart we are. And that's definitely one of the issues within the Black community. Definitely one of our issues that can affect the value of African American males, that can affect how we decide to move through life of not showing our full potential. But I'm happy that there are instances and opportunities that we have that we don't know about because we're just sometimes going about life, going to school like we're told to do, going to school because we want better for ourselves and for our families. And then, eventually for some of us, when that happens, we have that moment where that light switch is turned on and we understand, oh, I know that I'm smart. I know that I have a knack for this or a knack for that. I know that I enjoy doing math. I know that I enjoy drawing. I enjoy doing whatever it is that may not have been as popular before. But I definitely think that on college campuses, that's definitely a point in time, or that's not a point in time, but more like fertile ground. That's that fertile ground for us to basically um, be planted. It's that fertile ground for us to be planted. And it'll take some work, just like it takes some work to plant something, to plant a seed, to plant a plant, whatever it might be.
Gotta
Uh,
water it.
yeah, you got to water it. And so sometimes without us even asking, we're being poured into. And like both of you have already said and described, those Black college campuses have a really good way of doing that. And from my personal experience, Xavier has a really good way of doing that as well. I had a couple of different academic advisors here at Xavier that got me back on track when I started to go astray with my academics, and which caused me to have to do the extended stay, like Kyra described earlier. And there's nothing wrong with an extended stay. Just make sure you finish. It's important that you finish, or at least continue. Just continue and keep hope alive and keep striving. But what I will say is that if it weren't for people around me seeing that, seeing the potential that I had and seeing the value that I had, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. And so that support system that, sometimes we don't even ask for, it ends up being our saving grace as Black males. And so I'm definitely um, blessed to be able to have something that I didn't even ask for, but it's the exact thing that I needed.
To be real, bro, like, this is like to Xavier's credit because I feel like I'm the product of Tuskegee, of course, Tuskegee down. But like to a certain extent, I'm also a product of Xavier University because Tuskegee healed all of the trauma from K through 12, right? But I feel like Xavier has healed the trauma from like my professional experience, some of the stuff I went through in Boston. Boston was just one of the racist cities, most racist cities in like the country, in my opinion. But I was thinking about how like Xavier brought out like the things that I tried to hide in high school, like the fact that I'm creative, the fact that I love to write, the that I love tech, like all of this stuff. I'm doing it right now in my job. Like that's my entire job is being a creative writer. Somebody like I have to know history. Um, I have to be up to date on because database manager is in my title. I got to be up to date on data and on the tech side, like know the CRM that we use. Like it's literally everything I tried to hide in high school, and it's
And
benefiting me right now.
to piggyback off of the professional environment working at HBCU, before I came to work at Xavier, I worked in the courthouse. And it was real suit and tie, real blue collar, clean cut, all that kind of stuff. But since I've come here, man, you can't see me, but my hair is growing out. I got a nose ring, I got tattoos, and being accepted for what you can bring to the table intellectually and being able to express yourself physically is second to none. I can't. I mean, some people might not see the value in that, but I think that's very, very important too. You know what I mean? Like, it's expression. And if you aren't able to express yourself, you are not being your full self, and you can't give your full potential because you are being closed into what someone thinks you should be, So being on this campus, working at this campus has definitely helped. Uh, I believe it's helped me blossom. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree.
It's a culture, man. It's definitely a culture. And I know that it's a culture that's not specific at Xavier, but or specific to Xavier rather. But you know, we all work here and we all see it every day. Every day that we come here, we're able to be in this environment and thrive in this environment. But even more so, which is something that I know that we've all been told this since we were children, giving back, giving back to the same community that's helping us or has helped us to get to where we are today. And so just you know, I know that we said a lot. We definitely said a lot today. And I know that we could probably go on for some hours talking about our different experiences and things like that. But as we come to a close, any last points that you all would like to make for the people out there, for all the folks that are listening to this podcast?
Um, I think just like be you. Like it's okay to be you, you know. Um, and take care of yourself if you need to, you know. That's something I had to learn at Tuskegee was to take care of myself, not just physically but mentally, you know. Um, and yeah, I think that's about it. I guess the last thing, even though I am in New Orleans, you know, I'm Atlanta all day, Stone Mountain all day. Also Beatrice, Alabama, but you know, whatever. East Atlanta to be exact. But yeah.
Hey, bro, don't disrespect my city like that, bro.
You gotta stop that.
I'm sorry, our city, me and Brandon city.
You're gonna make me lose the professionalism. I'm about to get 504 on you real quick.
In the words of Juvenile, you're making me nervous, bro.
You know, just you know, it was hard not saying Zone 6 at some point.
Oh, it's all right. And so then, Brandon, did you have any last words that you wanted to give for the people?
Just piggybacking off of what Kyrie said. You know, just be yourself, man, unapologetically. You know, like you said, take care of yourself, man. Take care of your mental. Like Beast Mode say, take care of your chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself together. You know, and also I believe that there's a changing of the guard. You know how we said that this is it was kind of not cool to be smart. I believe it's going the other way now.
Yeah.
I think it's going the
Yeah.
other way now. You know, so
Yeah.
if there is something that you want to do, if there's something that you want to be, don't let anything or anybody around you stop you or deter you from going for that.
Yeah,
Go for it.
it's like that meme said that you know, Gen Z, you know, we were worried because they were eating Tide Pods at one point. But like they are just showing up and showing out. Like it's like with social justice, you know, tech, everything. And like they're creative. Like I appreciate this next generation so much, man. And I admire them, you know. To some extent, kind of look up to them because they, you know, they letting us know how they feel.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah. And just on a closing note, to round this out, Gen Z, keep doing the work that y'all are doing. For those of you that are getting to college or that are in college, it was folks back in the mid 1900s, African Americans fighting for their due justice and their due rights in this country. They were your age. They were your age. So just let that sink in. And thank you all, whoever's listening. Oh,
one last thing. Sorry, one more thing. Gen Z actually remind me more of our grandparents. You know, the people in the early 1900s than any other generation in between. Like they got that hunger. They got that, you know, that like.
John Lewis was just in his 20s when he walked across that bridge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They remind me of that generation, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
There it is. Gen Z is y'all time, man. It's y'all time. Make it a time where you make a change. Make it a time where you
about to say make it a great day. I'm sorry.
I was going to say Michael Jackson. I was gonna make a change.
Well, thank y'all. Khiry and Brandon, I really appreciate you all for being a part of this podcast. I'll make sure that if this podcast does blow up, y'all get all credits and royalties if they come.
Oh, I better get paid, bro.
And then for all the listeners, thank y'all for signing on today. This is Bryan Cooper with the XULA Black Excellence Podcast. Bye.